Hebrews chapter 2, verse 15, it goes on to give us another reason that God became a man. He became a man to free those, this is slavery terminology, free those who through fear of death were subject to slavery all their lives. Well, what does that mean? Once again, this is a little bit of a perplexing statement. We have to ask, is everyone afraid of death? Is everyone really in slavery to death? This is the word of God, and reality has to be true of it. Whatever the word of God says about the world and creation and humans, that really is the way it is out there. However, it's a little bit perplexing. There are many people afraid of death. You're going 80 miles per hour on the highway. You know you shouldn't be doing that. You swerve a little bit. You hit some ice. You're going to be afraid of death. Some people are outwardly open about their fear of death, but you go to the park, you see somebody at a picnic, they're playing with their kids, they're playing football, they're playing soccer, they're watching TV, they're hanging out, they're having a barbecue. Are they really just in fear and slavery to death that entire time? It doesn't appear so. But you have to meditate on these truths. You have to go just a little bit deeper. Everyone might not be outwardly anxious over their physical death or even their spiritual death. That might not be clear outwardly. But the entire world has a gross fear of wasting time. And you can see this everywhere. Even a young man, he's in his 20s, he's zealous, he's got his career going for him, and he says, I want to be at this point in my career by 30, I want to have my house paid off by 40, I want to retire by 50. He might seem like he's just full of life and vigor, but in reality, he is terribly afraid of wasting time. And so he needs to hit certain landmarks at certain times in his life because he knows that his time is going to run out. And if that man looks back at a short season of his life, maybe just 2 or 3 years where he feels like he lost opportunities, he will deal with deep regret. He will say, those years were just wasted. And we have to ask ourselves why. And it's because he knows his time is running out. There's a saying that's really common right now, YOLO, you only live once. And the concept, the philosophy behind that statement is, let's live it up as much as we can. Let's do as much as we can. Unfortunately, it's usually sinfully partying, living right, like drinking, eating, whatever. But in reality, it could be applied to anything. You only live once, do as much as you can now, but in reality, it's the fear of death. It's true, they only live once, but we also die once. We know that after death comes judgment, and deep within our conscience, as we're made within the image of God, even if we're not God's children, even if we're not born again, even if we're not saved yet, there is a real fear of death.